Everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today is Savory Saturday, but if you're brand new here, this channel is dedicated to running, and basically I post a lot of videos that are all about running reviews, comparisons, and shoe battles, but I like to post a lot of other videos that are related to running as well, like this one, where we're going to prepare a meal out of the Run Fast, Cook Fast, and Eat Slow cookbook, because a part of doing well is having proper nutrition. And so that's what we're focused on today. On today's video, I'm going to be preparing a beef and lentil minestrone. Now you can do this either in a slow cooker, or in my case today, I'm going to be using the Instant Pot that I have turned on my stove right behind me. Now, to get us started, I'm just going to read off and go over all of the different ingredients you're going to need to be able to prepare this, in case you want to prepare it for yourself at home. Starting with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You're also going to need 1 pound of ground beef. Now, they suggest you use grass-fed beef, 3 carrots that are peeled and chopped, 3 celery stalks that are sliced, 1 large yellow onion, 2 teaspoons of dried oregano, 2 teaspoons of fine sea salt, and 8 cups of low sodium vegetable broth, 3/4 cup of green lentils that have been rinsed, 1 can or 14.5 ounces of diced tomatoes, 3 cups of chopped kale, pasta for serving, or you could serve it over rice. Now I'm going to be serving it over a panini whole grain pasta, but I'm going to prepare that while this is going to be cooking in the Instant Pot, just to save myself a little bit of time. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is turn and go over and start working at my stove, because that's where I have the Instant Pot set up. So let's do that. Okay, so one of the first things we need to do, because I'm going to be using the Instant Pot, is initially I'm going to set it to saute. So I just have a little menu option down here. So I've got that turned on, and we're going to need to brown our meat first. So we got to brown that beef. In order to do that, this is where the olive oil comes into play. So we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. It's probably going to sizzle and pop a little bit. That's not too bad to begin with. And then we're going to just brown our beef. And again, they suggest using grass-fed beef as a preferred choice. Now we're going to use a wooden spoon to kind of get this browned up here. All right, while this is browning up, question of the day today: what's your favorite meal to have the night before a race? You know, for a lot of runners, it might have something to do with pasta, maybe spaghetti, lasagna, could be pizza, nachos. What's your favorite meal to have the night before a big race? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. Okay, we got the meat is browned up. So now, consult the recipe book here. We're supposed to add our carrots, celery, onions, our salt, and oregano, and then we're going to saute it for another 5 minutes. So let's get that done. Carrots, celery, onions. Ooh, onions are strong. Oh, Kim was just down here a few minutes ago. That was her comment, is, boy, those onions, whew, you can smell those through the whole house. Okay, so now we need 2 teaspoons of our oregano. Oregano smells good too. And then also 2 teaspoons of our fine sea salt. All right, now we're going to saute this, like I said, for about another 5 minutes. So basically we're just going to soften up the carrots and the celery and the onions and get that oregano start to mix in there. Get some flavors going. You can already smell it. I also want to say thanks to everyone who's commented on all the previous videos. I love all of the great conversation that we've had. This is coming along nicely. I did set my timer for 5 minutes so I wouldn't lose track of time. Oh, and there it goes. Okay, so now at this point, we need to add in all of that broth. So we have 8 cups of vegetable beef broth that I have measured out here in this giant measuring cup. Oh, I guess I'm getting it all over the place. Oh, there we go. And we need to add the lentil. Now, the reason this is kind of sticking a bit is because I want us to rinse the lentil ahead of time, which I did, but it's not quite dry, so it's kind of sticking to my measuring cup just a little bit. And then our diced tomatoes. Again, it's 14.5 ounces of diced tomatoes. Now this entire recipe will serve 6, and I'll put the nutritional facts up on the screen once I've calculated all of that for you. Okay. Now, if you're using a crock pot, you're going to want to cook it on low for 8 hours, or if you crank it up to high, you can get it done in 4 hours. I'm using an Instapot. So what I'm going to do is set it manually for 25 minutes. But now Instapots are a little bit deceiving at times because you have to wait for them to pressurize. So I'm going to actually hit cancel first, and I'm going to do a pressure cooking, raise my time up to 25 minutes. Now what'll happen is once that gets registered, it's going to beep to tell me that it's registered. Make sure my vent is closed, but it's going to take probably sometimes maybe 20 minutes or so for it to actually pressurize. And then it's going to cook for an additional 25 minutes after that, and then it'll have to depressurize. And if you let it depressurize on its own, that can take another 20 minutes or so, or you can manually release that pressure too. All right, so at this point, I'm going to let the Instapot do its work, and I'm going to cook the panini noodles, so those are going to be ready when this is ready. Now, the one thing that I haven't added yet is the kale, and the kale will come at the very end, right before we get ready to serve it. We'll stir in the kale and let it wilt a little bit before serving. So, I'm going to set this kind of off to the side, and I'm going to cook up my noodles. So, once that's all done, we're going to come back and enjoy us some beef and lentil minestrone. I plan to serve this over a whole grain panini, but you can serve it over rice, whatever you like. And I'm going to take the opportunity to make this now because I know it's going to take a while. I need to bring, they suggest, 4 to 6 quarts of water to a boil. So that on my stove is going to take a while. I'm going to just toss in a little pinch of salt to begin with. And then I'm going to crank up my stove, bring this to a boil, and then we'll get started on cooking our pasta. I just heard the Instapot go off, so we're starting to count down for 25 minutes. It took just about that long to bring the water to a boil, so I'm going to go ahead and start the pasta. Even though the Instapot won't be done for over 25 minutes, I thought I'd go ahead and just get this out of the way. Now I'm just following directions on the box. After I brought this to a boil, bring it back to a boil now that I've got the pasta in here. We'll cook it for about 9 to 10 minutes. Okay, so I think our pasta is done. We just need to drain the water. That is a lot of steam. Okay, so the pasta has been cooked, drained, and now we just need to set it aside for now. Okay, so our pressure cooker is done doing its thing. Now what we need to do is to check to make sure that the lentils are soft. So let's go ahead and open this up. Now it's been depressurized. Kind of watch out for that steam a little bit. Get my wooden spoon. We want to make sure that the lentils are again soft. Which they are. Perfect. So the next step is stirring the kale. So let's do that. We want the kale to wilt before we serve it. Okay, so our kale has been wilted. And we're going to add a little pasta to a bowl. Let me bring this over here. I'm not adding a ton. Probably, roughly 1.5 to 2 ounces if you're looking for a measurement size, but for me that's just a couple of spoonfuls, and that should be plenty. Let's set this over here. Oh, the moment of truth. Mix it up here just a tad bit more. Again, this makes 6 different servings, so there's a lot. I love that because leftovers, as I've mentioned many times before, that's my favorite meal of the day. So it's one that's already prepared and I don't have to cook it. All right, so let's go enjoy our beef and lentil minestrone soup. It smells good, looks delicious. Can't wait to dig in. Oh, so good. What strikes me is just how hearty this soup is. Sometimes soup doesn't always fill me up, but I think this is one that's going to do the trick. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and see you next time right here on Run Tall with Tim.